Hi, I'm Marty Nemko. Many people tend to think of bowling as Neanderthal, if only because it was the recreation of choice of Barney Rubble, the caveman in the Flintstones cartoon. Yet, as in all sports, competence and enjoyment are enhanced to the extent we can be zen about it. Even if you'll never again pick up a bowling ball, there are life lessons embedded in the zen of bowling. First, focus on the process, not the outcome. Focus on ritually identifying where you'd like the ball to roll, looking at the arrows perhaps, evenly taking 4 steps while swinging your arm back and forth, not back and forth, the back and then forth, and then release with the amount of spin, using your fingertips to create the spin, moving your hand around like this, so that your thumb ends up in the 12 o'clock position, or if you're right-handed, still like that, so that your palm is facing the left side of the bowling alley, bowling center, and if you're lefty, the palm of your hand is facing the right side. But you want to do the amount of spin with your fingers that matches the slickness of your path to the target. You see, the amount of oil on a lane varies. It's usually thickest in the middle, which means that the ball is going to hook less there, because it's like a tire that's skidding, and it'll hook more if your path starts at one side where there is less oil or no oil. After you release, the result is out of your control. If you get too happy about a good pin count, how many pins you knock over, you may be complacent rather than focused as you make your next roll. If you get upset or despondent after a bad one, usually people don't get despondent after one roll, but after, say, 4 or 5 bad shots in a row, you're less likely to stay focused on the above in subsequent shots. As the Buddhists say, stay in the moment. The next tip related to bowling but also life is compete only with yourself. As with all skills, your body and your mind limits your performance. No matter how much people practice, only a tiny percentage will be good enough to be a pro or even a great amateur, the kind that averages 200 or more. Take primary pleasure in the quality of each delivery, not the score. Was your initial body position what you'd like? That is, erect but relaxed, with knees gently bent, the ball starting at your waist. Was your 4-step approach? You should know most people should take 4 steps. Was it moderate in your pace, with your arm back swinging and then coming forward comfortably? Was your body balanced as you reached the foul line? Did you feel in control of the ball as you released it? Was the amount of finger spin appropriate so that the ball ended up roughly where you intended, even if the desired number of pins didn't fall? The next generalizable tip is practice, but be aware of the point of diminishing returns. Practice, yes, but at some point, you'll reach a point of diminishing returns. That's the point where additional practice will yield insufficient improvement and pleasure to be worth the time, money, and opportunity cost. In other words, what you would otherwise could be doing. Maybe you'll want to practice twice a week for a few months, or once every few weeks indefinitely, but be aware of that point of diminishing returns. Just maybe you might even be willing to accept diminished returns for the even slightly increased mastery. Just make your decision consciously. It's easier to focus on process than the score if you bowl alone. So even if you'd like to bowl with other people, and perhaps even join a league, you might at least want to spend some time bowling alone, at least until the zen of bowling becomes, for you, automatic. Of course, all of this applies to all sports, indeed to much of life. For example, if you're a basketball player, street yard or more higher level, many of your shots are going to miss because of a bad bounce off the rim. The ref's going to make a bad call. Your team will lose when it should have won. The Zen player stays in the moment, wisely passing, moving, shooting, and playing defense. The primary win is in the process. Are you doing a good job of each of those? Over a few weeks, are you getting at least a little better? Not necessarily than your teammates, but than your former self. And in life, are you trying to, in the moment, be a good listener, to work well, to be kind but not a milquetoast. Too many factors beyond your control will affect the outcomes. Despite good effort, you may remain unloved. You may be a better job candidate and lose out to an inferior one. You may be a stronger student but get rejected from prestigious colleges in favor of less qualified applicants. You may be a careful eater and still be heavy. The best we can do is to try to stay in the moment, focusing on the process, getting better at the process, with little attention to the outcome. I am well aware that all this is easier said than done, but it is an aspiration worth having. In any event, I do thank you for watching. I'm Marty Nemko. I welcome your thumbs up and accept your thumbs down. I look forward to any comments you might have, and certainly would love it if you hit the share button down below and or subscribe to my channel. And in any event, I do thank you for watching. I am Marty Nemko.